Everything's all good, man, over here. I mean, I can't wait, and we all know, you only as good as your last fight. So, with this being Dustin Poirier's last dance and stuff, and and everybody saw my last fight, I gotta go make people forget. I hate being the bad guy, but things have to be done.
But he dislikes Max Holloway, though.
You know, it's tough. A lot of these questions is, how does it feel going to enemy hostile, but like people like me, but then this is to Dustin's hometown, and it is his last dance, his retirement fight. So how you gonna feel getting booed or whatever? I'm like, I mean, the answer is the same. I hope I am the bad guy. Like if the shoe was on the other foot and we was in Hawaii, I mean, like everybody loves Dustin, but I'd hope my people would boo him and do whatever. So at the end of the day, it just comes with the territory.
Third time to share the octagon with him. How special is it to close this chapter and also close his career? And Dustin's another very likable guy, another future Hall of Famer like yourself.
It feels awesome. I mean, like I said, the only thing that's on my mind right now is not going 0-3 in two different damn trilogies. That's being on the wrong side of history. So at the end of the day, I just want to go out there, have a great fight. Fight hard, fight smart, and get my hand raised.
How do you envision the fight going down? How do you envision having that hand raised next Saturday?
I mean, they had the previews for the countdown that's going to be playing this Sunday, and Dustin said it perfect. It's like he's talking about war. He know what kind of fight I bring. I know what kind of fight he brings, and it's his last one. So I'm expecting a very tough fight. So if it's a war he wants, it's a war he's going to get.
You go in there, take care of business. Where does Max Holloway go from there? You're one of the few that are ranked in two divisions at very high of the divisions, and I'm sure you're still eyeing another title, whether it's 45 or 55.
Yeah, I mean, 45, I'm done. I have no idea. I know this is the question that always comes out. I have no idea how I'm straight ranked at 45. I announced my move to 55. I'm going to stay here. And, with the title fight being last month, and I have history with both guys. It's very good for me. Like I said, the fighting game is all about moments, man. And it's all about being at the right place at the right time. And if I go out there, this moment is huge. This is a huge moment. That it's Dustin's last dance. I go out there, I do something like I did, in at UFC 300. Who's to say that I can't get a title fight at the end of the year, or pretty close, or a number one contender fight? Whatever it is, I just gotta go there, get my hand raised, do it in a very fashionable way, and one step closer to a title.
Funny, Ilya before his fight said the same thing that because he was ranked still, and he was like, "I'm not fighting there again." What did you think of that fight? You shared the cage with him. Were you surprised that he went in there and took care of Charles the way he did?
Yeah, I was not surprised at all. I wasn't surprised at all the way the fight went. But then again, on the other side, I wouldn't be surprised if Charles found a way to win too. Like they're finishers, they're finishers, and the way Charles loved fighting, he loved walking straight and straight to his opponents, and he just walked into one that he obviously didn't see, and he paid for it. So at the end of the day, Tapori looked really good. Charles was doing fine. I felt he had that takedown attempt. He's doing some things. I saw Charles's interview saying that he would change a lot of stuff for that fight, and he didn't do nothing that he practiced for, which is kind of crazy. When you're in a title fight, you practice for something and something just goes haywire. So at the end of the day, the player looked really good, man. Like I said, this sport is just about moments, man. And he went out there. The pressure was on him. He had his moment, and look at him now.
Not looking past Dustin because that's a tough challenge, but it seems like Topuria is one you want back that you could solve the puzzle and give him that first L and take a gold as well along the way.
I mean, for sure, for sure. At the end of the day, it's you got to walk before you run. And first things first is Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier last dance in his hometown is you don't look past that. So we got everything. We got all our eyes set on him. This is the focus right now, and after July 19th, yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have another interview. Ask me that question again. So at the end of the day, I've been saying this. The man's parading around with a BMF title. And last time I checked, that probably was after off of Amazon because I we're fighting for the BMF title come July 19th.
July 19th, UFC 318. Last thing, if people weren't going to buy this pay per view, why do they need to tune in next Saturday night?
I mean, you need to tune in next week Saturday night because we're if you like violence and if you want someone to get in the UFC, this is the fight. Me and Dustin are known for putting up some great fights, some violent fights, and if you want to see fighters fight, this is it, man. It's gonna be a fun one. This guy, I'm looking forward to Dustin leaving it all in the octagon. I'm going to do the same, and it's an honor to be his last dance, but I gotta go out there and do my thing.